Is this audible?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, can go on.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Bhakti Vinod, Jaya Bhakti Vinod, Bhakti Vinod, Jaya Bhakti Vinod, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Bol.
Okay, then we can read the translations.
Very nice, Prabhu. Thank you very much for doing the very nice kirtan.
Thank
So
you so
actually,
much, Prabhu.
Prabhu,
I
I
didn't
mean,
have
if it's
much
okay with you, no
practice,
problem,
but
Prabhu.
something I tried. Thank you so much.
It's very nice. If it's okay with you, I'll be hosting, Prabhu, because I have some time in the first hour. Is that okay with you?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. That would be nice.
Yeah, all right. Translation, so we can read. So there are only two translations here. So who would want to read Maybe Parendra Prabhu can read, or Pranjal Prabhu, somebody new, Drona Prabhu, who haven't read before. Aryan, Abhay.
Yes, Prabhu, I'll read.
Thank you so much. Haribol.
Translation. Krishna is the lover of Radha. He displays many amorous pastimes in the groves of Vrindavan. He is the lover of the cowherd maidens of Braja and the holder of the great hill named Govardhana. Should I continue, Prabhu?
Somebody else can read. Actually, we read one at a time. So you read the first one. Thank you. Maybe
Okay.
someone else. Siddharth Prabhu, would you like to read?
He is
Yes,
the
Prabhu.
beloved son of Mother Yashoda, the delighter of the inhabitants of Raja, and he wanders in the forest along the banks of the river Yamuna.
Thank you very much for the kirtan, and thank you for reading the translation as well. So, of course, Sami Prabhu, you're 8 minutes short of the time limit given to you. 15 minutes was the time. It is 4:22 now. Anyway, what we will do is we'll wait 8 minutes so that we can get some more devotees to join. And anyway, so Abhay Prabhu has joined. So very happy to have you here, Abhay Prabhu. So please do come regularly. It is very, very nice if you could come regularly. It'll be very good for you to take the association of the devotees. And who else has joined? Parendra Prabhu also. After some time, I'm seeing him. Thank you for joining, Prabhu. Please do come regularly as well. So we'll wait for another 7, 8 minutes, and then we will um, start with the next session. Mm, Because let us stick to the time limits properly this time. So we'll just be waiting for the other devotees. So Sami Prabhu, by the time if you could just tag the devotees and post in the Hare Krishna League, Vaishnava Sangha and the Sloka learning group, it'll be nice. Those who are unaware can actually, you know, get reminded once again. So please, if you can do it, it'll be very, very nice, Prabhu. Very well. So Siddharth Prabhu, when will you be coming to the temple next?
In June, Prabhu.
Sorry, Prabhu, I could not hear you. I'm sorry.
In the month of June.
June, all the way till June, huh?
Yes, Prabhu.
Why
Occupied.
so difficult? Why so difficult, Prabhu, to come? Just take a bus and come, no?
I will, Prabhu. I'll do my best in the meanwhile as well.
Are you eating, is it, right now?
Yes, Prabhu. Dinner.
I'm so sorry to disturb you, huh? Anyway, but yeah, please do come whenever you're free. I mean,
Definitely, Prabhu.
yeah. Surendra Prabhu also trying to plan to come study near temple. I mean, in Tamil Nadu at least. So that'll be nice.
Yes, brothers. I'm planning.
Yeah, if you want, you can call His Grace Prahlad Prabhu for some advice, and he can give you some tips on how to get a seat here and all, and how the temple works, and you can come and stay nearby the temple and all that.
Yes, brother.
You just message me if you're interested to call Prabhu and get some guidance. Message me, I'll give you his number. Okay.
Okay, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhu.
Mhm.
Also, thank you for the donations. Also, thank you very much. And well, so Aryan Prabhu, you should also try to come perhaps once to temple. It'll be a very different experience. See, Luvesh Prabhu, your best friend, he's coming all the way from Austria to India in a few months. August, right? Yeah, August, June, July, August. Yes, August time he's coming. So if you could come, it'll be very nice. Before that, if you can come, it'll be very good. Try to plan if you can come and stay a few days, at least a week. That's very good if you can do that. Smita Krishna Prabhu is also planning to come in his summer vacations. Pranjal Prabhu, I don't know. Wherever I'm asking him if he's coming, I don't know, he's telling something else. Pranjal Prabhu, what's your idea? See, Drona Prabhu is coming soon. He'll come either this month or the next month for sure. He'll come. So yes. Mm. Away Prabhu, you as well. You're from Pune, no? You can try to come. Yes. Away Prabhu, you also please do try to come. It'll be very, very nice if you can come. So Sami Prabhu, have you finished tagging everyone?
Yes, true.
Done, is it?
Yeah.
Alright. We'll wait for another 2 minutes and then we can do the artwork. So I've sent you the artwork by Siddharth Prabhu, right? So you just keep it ready. But of course, don't share the screen that time. Right.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Well, I almost spoiled it, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Dharani Prabhu, Dhanar Pranam, Jai Prabhupada. Very happy to have you here. Thank you for joining. Very well. So, Sami Prabhu, now you can project Siddharth Prabhu's artwork, and I'll be reading the verse on behalf of him. So, please be projecting. Oh, wow, very nice. So, all the devotees, you can comment how you like the art. Try to scroll in every single detail as possible, Prabhu. Take at least 2-3 minutes to show the artwork.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Lebang Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept humble wishes of glory to Srila Prabhupada.
Pranam Jai Srila Prabhupada. So, Prabhu, see this amazing
Prabhu,
picture. What do you think about it?
it's very amazing, Prabhu. I've seen it. It's from Bhakti Siddhanta, ne, Prabhu?
Can you see this picture? By who, Prabhu?
Yes, yes,
By
Prabhu.
Siddharth Prabhu.
Oh, Siddhanta. I always call him Bhakti Siddhanta. Always forget that. It also has the Vishnu. You even drew the Vishnu form, ne, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. And that, see the Pranjal
Yes,
Prabhu's
yes.
profile picture. He also did that.
Very amazing, Prabhu. He needs to draw me
Yes,
too.
Prabhu. Where you find the colors or the paint?
These are the paints used for painting wall, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Exterior paints.
Is it easy to find?
Not really, Prabhu. They're pretty expensive. So I managed with like a handful of colors, like 5 of them.
Yes, Prabhu.
This is what we call an expert artwork by an expert artist.
No, Prabhu. I just got lucky. This is like what I usually draw. I just project it on the wall.
This is what you call humility.
Yes, Prabhu. This hat is really nice also with the.
Peacock feathers also.
Oh, yes.
And also that video was there, no? That Prabhu was making some of the kids in his way chant Hare Krishna. That's very nice also, you know. So nowadays, whoever passes by his house is like in for a ride. They'll
Prabhu,
be
how
like,
you made
wow.
this color? Did you mix like red and white?
Yes, Prabhu, I did. It
Mm.
was a little difficult because the paint that dries off very soon, considering it to be summer as well.
Yes, Prabhu. It's really nicely done, this color.
And therefore it drips down also because the first time I ever painted, so I had to take extra precaution before the paint drips down.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, you did the blue also really nicely. It's the same as it was in the computer picture. Oh, here is also the Mahamantra.
Aryan Prabhu saying the gradient in the eyes and emerald ruby is really amazing. Pranjal Prabhu also said amazing painting. Oh, very nice. Very well. So Prabhu, you can read the verse, Sami Prabhu. You can read or I can read anything we can do.
Yes, Prabhu, you can read.
You just share the verse.
Oh, 1 second. 1865. You remember it?
Wow, you're asking the wrong person. Don't play hide and seek with me, Prabhu. Just show me the verse.
Can you see?
Yes, can. On the side, this is it. Man mana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Translation: always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Very nice verse shared by Siddharth Prabhu. Very beautiful painting as well. So really, really very nice. Hope to hear more from you and see more paintings by you, Siddharth Prabhu, in the near future. And hope to have your association once in the temple as well. At least once. I mean, not just once. But yeah, Hare Krishna, Lebahan Prabhu, Dhanara Pranam, All Vishnu Prabhupada. Very nice. Very well. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Lebahan Prabhu is in some meditation.
It sounded like Samadhi.
I think Lebahan Prabhu, you please be muted only. Otherwise, you will take us into Samadhi. Is it? Oh, whoa, whoa. This is something right there. So anyway, we can start the group discussion. We'll just wait for a few more devotees to join for the group discussion. It's 13 devotees. We'll wait for another 2-3 minutes for the group discussion. And because if we can have some 15 devotees, it'll be very, very nice. So, yeah. Mm. See, we require our devotees to be quite punctual. Unfortunately, how much ever Sami Prabhu is messaging and tagging everybody, they don't join or they join 1 hour late.
Yes, Prabhu, I think they have muted me, so they don't hear the tag. You need to tag them.
Sami Prabhu is depressed about this fact that no devotees joining on time is very sad. Are you sad about this, Sami Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, Semi Prabhu is never said Prabhu.
Yeah, of course, he's never sad, but he's acting sad now because I told him, I asked him if he's sad.
Yes, Prabhu.
He's my Guru Maharaj. Sami Prabhu is my
No,
Guru
Prabhu.
Maharaj.
No, this is cap.
Levan Prabhu also is my Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Luvesh, Prabhu, Dandat, Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Are you there, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisance of Lord Sri Prabhupada. I've been here for a
Long
while.
time.
Very nice. What are you doing, Prabhu?
Yeah, just ironing the clothes.
Prabhu, you always.
Yeah, wait. You see, I don't know if you can see, but I'm ironing the clothes. So there's a big pile of clothes here on my chair. So please give me 2 business seconds to respond when you call me.
Over Maharaj, in few minutes we'll be starting group discussion. How you can take 2 business seconds to respond now? Tell me
It's
this.
fine. No, it's fine, bro. I can still do the group discussion. No issues.
He will jump left, right, center between the ironing board and the screen, right?
Ninja
Transcendental dance.
devotion. Ninja devotion.
Yes, transcendentalist.
Transcendental ninja.
Yeah, transcendental ninja. Huh?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu will iron us with his arguments.
very good.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of arguments, I wanted to hold a nice, a nice brief talk this Saturday. Because His Grace Gaura Shakti Prabhu says that every Saturday he'll hold a nice association session, a weekly sangha every Saturday at 2 p.m. IST. So I'd like to give a nice talk actually. I have a nice topic that I can speak on, and it's regarding posing arguments that go against the philosophy that we ISKM members stand for. Of course, this includes arguments that are given against the rhetoric system of initiations and a few other things. But generally, the main idea of proper debate, the proper putting forth of arguments, basically. So, yeah, pretty much. If that's okay with everyone, I can give that talk. Otherwise, no issues.
You mean you want to do it now? I mean, you want to do it in the istagoshti later on, or you want to do it on Saturday?
In the weekly sangha every Saturday.
Oh,
2
is
p.m.
it that one? Huh?
Weekly
Yeah, can
sangha.
definitely.
Yeah. It's a nice topic. I basically read that article I shared with both you and Sami Prabhu regarding the principles of the Nyaya Sutras. It was actually very interesting. I thought it would be incredibly helpful for us in general to be able to, properly debate with people, because sometimes people just look for sheer logic. So it's important that we learn to somehow try to corner them, because if we corner them, then they can't argue, right? They can't argue against anything. So learning the art of cornering the Nyaya Sutras can give us a nice overview. So of course, I'm not going to go into too much detail with the Nyaya Sutras because they are very, very long and lengthy explanations of the art of debate and logic and reasoning. So I'll just give a brief overview, having read the article for myself. And of course, I can't deny I definitely used ChatGPT to simplify the language for me a little bit, because it was a bit difficult for me to understand exactly what the article was trying to say. But I can explain to all of you now a little bit more simpler words.
Mhm.
So you
Yeah,
can use some of these ideas. Yeah, you can use some of these ideas basically to argue against whatever it is you want to argue.
please do share with us.
Yes,
Also need
Prabhu.
to learn how to debate, huh?
Yes,
With
Prabhu.
many
Because
people.
yeah, even in
Yeah.
the Chaitanya Charitamrita also,
Mm.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentions that well, not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, but it is mentioned that uh, if you um, like the principles of logic and reasoning, then just kindly apply to the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes,
So
correct.
we can do the same with the mercy of Sri Prabhupada. What is the mercy of Sri Prabhupada? The ritual system of initiations. That
Have
is
you
the
finished reading
thing.
the CC?
Not fully, bro. Not yet.
Is
I'm
it?
yet to finish.
I'm
But I thought I
surprised you
would
finished
just be.
Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, CC. Soon you'll finish, is it?
Yes, Prabhu. I'd actually like to properly, thoroughly study Prabhupada's smaller books. They are very nice. I really wanted to
Or is it?
continue reading them for a while, yeah, before going to
Very
CC.
nice.
Yeah.
Right, so that's very good. And even now, Sami Prabhu, the time is on point now. So you share the screen and you make sure you only share the first half of the message which I sent you regarding the group discussion. You give the second part, then you leak the question, the bomb question. So be very careful, all right?
Yes, Prabhu. So it's a total time is what for the group discussion?
Total time is from 4:40 to 5:10. That is approximately 30 minutes. So we have about 28 minutes now, starting, including everything, you see. So the discussion part will be about 20, 25 minutes approximately. So about 15 or so minutes before that, 12 to 15 minutes in, you can not leak, I mean, release the bomb question. So
Yeah, I'll
Sami
do it
Prabhu,
after. Yeah,
yes,
yeah. I'll
right.
do it after 13 and a half minutes. It seems more
Up
fair.
to you, up to you. You know what to do better than me.
I'll put
Anyway,
time to it. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so you can scroll up, Sami Prabhu. Come on. We are running on a time limit. Yes, right. So now we're going to start the group discussion. So we have 13 devotees here. So every devotee, please be very attentive about the rules. The rules are very, very important and they must be followed. These are not my rules. These are not anybody else's rules. In fact, it's given by His Grace Prahlad Bhakta Prabhu. He shared it in the previous istagoshtis. I've just compiled it. So please be very attentive for this, Prabhus. And Luvesh Prabhu will be sending the group discussion bomb question about 13, 14 minutes into the discussion, right? Number one. The first point is the maximum time allotted for the group discussion is 30 minutes. All right. So now it's actually 25 minutes. So just correct the 30 to 25. And each devotee should be mindful of the time limit. So no devotee should be speaking like for 10 minutes each. No. Every devotee should be mindful of this and speak for no more than 2 minutes per turn. Right. Second point, the discussion will be informal. You see. Therefore, there is no need to raise hands or ask permission to unmute, etc. Devotees are encouraged to speak at an appropriate moment in the flow of the discussion to share their viewpoints on the given topic. So you don't need to raise your hand or ask, "Can I please speak?" and all this. You just find the right timing. Just like how you're speaking with your friends, right? You don't ask permission if I can speak. No. You find the right timing, find the right gap, and just interject. You can add on to the points, or you know, you can give in your views, right? Third point, you can either agree, disagree, or add on to the points made by previous speakers, provided their contributions are supported with Shastric evidence of proof. You see, so basically, you can add on or you can disagree, but you must give the Shastric arguments. That is the point. For example, if Sami Prabhu is saying something, I agree to him, then I must share Shastra. If I disagree, I must share Shastra. So Shastra is the main point of this. You see, Shastra is the essence which we all must follow. All right. So reference from Shastra means Prabhupada books, conversations, lectures, etc. You see, or whatever you heard in our ISKM lectures also, which our senior devotees have also explained. They've explained it on the principle of the Shastra. Therefore, you can share that as well. Then, devotees are advised not to reference or quote from ISKCON devotees or any other camps because, to be very, very honest, none of them are actually following Prabhupada's instructions very strongly. So, they're all actually, in other words, useless, right? So, that is there. And finally, the final point is that the right? One devotee must conclude the session by summarizing the key points discussed by the earlier speakers. So, as we have been doing it previously, finally, there must be a conclusion for about 3 to 5 minutes by any one of the devotees, right? So now, Sami Prabhu, you can just copy the group discussions question and share it in the Zoom chat, all right? And the bomb question, you can share it personally with Luvesh Prabhu. I think he already has, but you can still share it with him. Yeah, he said yes, right? Just share it very carefully. All right. And for the bomb question, please stop screen sharing and then share it. All right. Oh, Hare Krishna, Prahlad Prabhu, Dhanara Pranam, all Krishna Prabhupada. So,
Hare
Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna,
just
Dhanavad Pranam.
Dhanara
Hare
Pranam,
Krishna,
Prabhu.
Prahlad Prabhu,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu,
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 Hare Krishna,
Prabhu, all
Prabhu.
those Shri Prabhupada, Hare Bol.
Pranam, Prabhu, Jai Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada. Sorry, I did not reach yet Pondicherry.
Oh, is it? Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, you continue, you continue. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. We're just doing the group discussion. So, we're going
Yes,
as per
please.
strong time limit as you advised. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay then. Okay, Hare Krishna.
All right. Yes, Prabhu.
Carry on.
Yes, Prabhu. All right. So, now we can start the group discussion. So, the topic is this. I'll read it twice. What is the importance of humility in Krishna consciousness? One more time. What is the importance of humility in Krishna consciousness? I hope all the devotees have understood this. So once again, we have a time limit of about 25 minutes. All right. So please be mindful of all the rules and we can start. So first, Sami Prabhu, would you like to share something on this point? What is the importance of humility in our practice of Krishna consciousness?
I would say it's really important part because without humility one cannot surrender, and if one doesn't surrender, if one is not capable to surrender, then he cannot progress spiritually. So I think humility is really important part in Krishna consciousness. It's one of the main things. So does what does Aryan Prabhu think about this? Is humility important in Krishna consciousness?
Actually, the question is what is not is humility important? So the question is what is the importance of humility? Humility is important, we all know it. But what is the importance? Why is it important? So yeah, I mean, Aryan Prabhu, you can share your views, or Parendra Prabhu, you can share, Abhay Prabhu, Pranjal Prabhu, Labahang Prabhu, Vivek Prabhu. You all can also speak up and share your views. Excited to hear your points.
Humility is considered to be important as given in Shikshastakam, third verse, Srinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnana Amanina Manitra Ketaniya Sudaharihi. Only if you are devoid of all sense of false prestige will we be in a position to chant the holy name constantly, the way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed all of us to.
Oh, so your point is that since Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed, so we must follow, only then we can chant Hare Krishna. Otherwise, we cannot practice our sadhana properly. Is that your point, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Would you like to add on any other point, Prabhu, from your perspective?
It is stated humility is one of the virtues that is needed for us in order to be able to imbibe the transcendental knowledge given in the Gita. It's given in chapter, just a moment. It's given in chapter 13, verse 8. Humility, pridelessness, the first two characteristics. Only through this can we break through the shackles of ignorance and get the mercy of the spiritual master and Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you for sharing the reference as well. I mean, I hope more devotees can share references also. Parendra Prabhu, I think you shared something very nice. If you can read that, it'll be very good.
Yes, Prabhu.
And you can
Subhadip
share from where you got the reference. So from where you got this verse, you can share it also, Prabhu, verbally, so we can get to know.
Actually, Subhadip Prabhu scared me, so I don't know from where does it come. It's only the verse. It's written here, do not give up devotional service. Even if there are innumerable dangers, countless insults, and endless harassment, do not become disheartened that most people in this world do not accept the message of unalloyed devotional service. Never give up your devotional service and hearing and chanting about Krishna, which is your everything. Always chant the holy name, becoming more humble than a blade of grass and more tolerant than a tree.
Oh, very nice. Actually, if I'm not wrong, Prabhu, this is by
Tantra.
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Am I right, Sami Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, yes. This is by quotes from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati.
Samir Prabhu, you were saying something? I mean, would you like to?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, I just said yes, it is by Bhaktisiddhanta.
Rahul Prabhu would like to hear from you as well. So, can you add some other points which are maybe a little bit different from what the other devotees have shared? Maybe you can also share your realizations on this matter because you've been chanting, and you also, you've been chanting in the morning, and after your morning chanting, you always share, right? That you're impressed
Yes,
by the
Prabhu.
humility
Thank
of
you.
Gaura Shakti Prabhu and also the other devotees. So, what did you, what do you have realizations on this matter? You can share also.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. It's a descending process. There is another thing called ascending process. So other yoga paths are like one is endeavoring on his own strength and not depending on God. We are very much depending on Krishna. It's a descending process. We depend on mercy in the parampara. So we have to be humble mood. Uh, it's 434 also states that the process is pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya, in a humble state of mind. One has to be very humble and pranipatena. I don't remember the English term for that. Um, pranipat. Approaching a spiritual master, submissive inquiries. So there has to be a mood of humility. And another point I feel is, I have seen interactions with Sundar Gopal Prabhu when devotees are some people are challenging him, so it doesn't attract his mercy. On the other hand, one may be very sinful, but if one is having a humble state of mind, like Jagai Madhai, or Haridas Thakur was there. He was from not a very high family, but um, r- rather I've noticed that if one is very high materially, teachings of Queen Kunti, people are puffed up. They materially they are puffed up, so they are unable to take up to the process of bhakti. And also one another point I like is that our size of the soul, 1/10,000 tip of a hair. If we see, it's a very humbling aspect. And if one sees like I'm a very small person, the world is so big, this whole creation is unlimited. Mustard seeds analogy is there for a universe. So how small is a planet, how small is a city, and how small am I in that? So these are all very humbling points, and this is not some sentiment alone. um, to see oneself as humble before God, and to surrender to Him. Thank you.
Yeah, very nice. Actually, I would also like to add a point, but before I do that, I would like to read one verse shared by Smita Krishna Prabhu. Of course, he is unable to read now because he's out in the market and there's so much noise. He messaged me, but he said, humility, pridelessness. I mean, not he said, he shared humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, even mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self realization and the philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and besides this, whatever there may be is ignorance. So, the first point Krishna has made is humility. So, just to add on again, I would like to add this that all of us have shared also here that humility is very important. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Trinadapi Sunichena, Supreme Personality of Godhead also shares in the Bhagavad Gita. And also, some of us have shared the realization that when even dealing with the senior devotees, those who are genuinely most sincere and humble, they they get the mercy of the senior devotees and they can actually get the enthusiasm to progress. That's very nice. But actually, I would like to touch on the core point that the reason why we are in this material world is actually because of the fact that we are out of our constitutional position, or in other words, we are working away from our constitutional position. And why is this? This is because of the main principal factor that there is an absence of humility. So, why is humility important? And why Krishna is mentioning in the first point here, you see, 13.8 to 12, right? Why the very first point mentioned here is humility. Why? Because humility is our original constitutional position. The original constitutional position of the living entity is to be an eternal servant of Krishna. Jivara Swarupa Hai Krishna Nityadas. This is the original position of the living entity. Therefore, any act which is driven by false ego, right? Even as devotees, it's not that we are all completely free from false ego. Unless one is very highly advanced and has undergone proper training, he will not actually come out of completely, he will not come out of the false ego. So any act that is driven by false ego is actually away from our constitutional position, or in other words, envious of Krishna. So the center point or the most important aspect which we all must consider is that humility is our actual intrinsic quality. It's our original constitutional position. And anytime we are acting out of false ego in whatever capability or form, in whichever level, is actually due to forgetting this principle that, oh, how great Krishna is, how small we are, how great the devotees are, and forgetting that we are actually knowingly stepping away from our constitutional position by listening to our mind. Anyway, I don't want to take so much of the time, but Lavish Prabhu, if you could just add on to the bomb question now, it'll be very, very nice. Or before you add on to the bomb question, if you could share your views as well, it'll be very nice because you've read the Bhagavatam completely, I heard. So you can share what you've heard or you've read as well.
We
So
still have a good amount of time, Prabhu. So the discussion on the regular question can still go on. So if anybody has some nice views,
Devan
they can.
Prabhu shared something.
Nice. Oh, very good. One who is non-envious, friendly, compassionate, free from false ego and possessiveness, equal in happiness and distress, forgiving, self-controlled, determined, and fully surrendered to me. Such a devotee is very dear to me. Yes, that's a fact. This is Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, verses 13 to 14. Haribol. So, one more point I would also like to add is that being humble actually gives way for the blessings of the seniors, the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, and the blessings of Krishna. Being humble also allows us to receive a lot of the power potency that the super soul provides within us to be able to advance further, right? So, if one wants to make spiritual advancement, one has to be humble, right? If one wants the blessings of Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, and the senior devotees, especially the Shiksha Gurus, then we must remain humble. Then we get a shower of blessings. And with those blessings, we can very easily advance in Krishna consciousness. So the main point is to be able to advance in Krishna consciousness. And to advance, we require blessings. We cannot advance by our own endeavor. We may say, oh yeah, I'm advancing. But that's not a fact. You advance only because of the mercy of Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, and the devotees. Right? Vivek Prabhu also shared a nice verse, 11.4. Whoever is sharing the stream can go to Bhagavad Gita 11.4.
Vivek Prabhu, you can actually speak, no? You can speak. Those who cannot, okay, no problem. To encourage them can add, no problem. But you speak, no, if you can.
Maybe you can read the verse, Vivek Prabhu, if you can
Hare
speak.
Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my
Yes.
Krishna.
Haribol. Please read the verse.
Yes, Prabhu. Here Arjuna is asking about like too humbly about here the I will read first. If you think that I'm unable to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self. Like here, Arjuna is in that condition. Arjuna is not is able, but he's asking in very humble form. Like I am humble, like that I am able to. Like here, Arjuna is telling that I am able to behold. If I am able to, so like we have to like we have to ask like we have to inquire submissively so we can get the transcendental knowledge. We should be always humble to the Lord, and so that we can get the knowledge. Like so I shared that verse.
Very nice argument. So if this is all for the regular question, then I'm gonna post the bomb question now in the chat. And the bomb question is, what is the difference between false humility and real humility? Who would like to begin this one? Who has some nice ideas to share? Some nice realizations? Aryan, what about you? Hey, Aryan Prabhu. Oh, Aryan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Finally. After ages. Do you have something to share? How to answer
Yes,
the phone?
Prabhu.
Yes, please.
I guess real humility comes from the heart when a person genuinely feels something in front of Krishna greatness. And false humility, on the other hand, is like a performance. It's when someone acts humble, saying, I'm nothing, I'm just a fool, but deep down they are craving praise or validation. That's all, Prabhu.
Anyone else has anything nice to share? How to answer the one question? Did you all agree with Aryan Prabhu? I think he made some valid arguments. What do you all think?
Yeah, I
Dronka
also
Prabhu.
feel the same way. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, Prabhu. Like following the regulative principle, not doing simply the lip service said by the senior devotees. I
But
think that also shows the
should we be humble towards everyone? And how can you be like, what is an example of being humble towards an enemy, for example, someone who is trying to be envious? So how to be humble like that? Should we bow down to them like humbly, or what to do? Does anyone have anything to say to this?
No, I mean, you see, the whole point is that, of course, I'll just add to Livesh Prabhu's point, and then if I have something, I can add on to your point as well, Sami Prabhu, as you said. So, real humility, false humility. Of course, even though I'm speaking on this, I also sometimes show false humility because to be very frank, I feel like I'm also very, very, very much puffed up. But I'm speaking for my own purification only. But the point is this: so the real humility comes from repeatedly considering the words of Srila Prabhupada, and by repeated association with the advanced devotees, and also reading Prabhupada books very regularly. Because when one is in actual knowledge of the Sambandha, right? So the Vedas can be divided into, not divided, it can be actually classified into three parts in the sense of Prabhu's calling. So I'll just, you guys can continue.
Hmm. Okay, I want to share just one thing, one reference. We can read it.
Sami Prabhu, who's the Acharya who was totally treated badly by all the shopkeepers he went to give the books to? Regardless of so many insults back to back, he still kept on going back. Was getting hit and slapped as well. I forgot his name.
Prabhu, I didn't hear the beginning, but I'm not sure. Luvesh Prabhu, did you hear?
There was a previous Acharya who used to get insulted by the shopkeepers when he constantly went on regularly doing the books. I this is again I've heard this a while ago, so I just thought if you could help me out with that.
I'm so sorry for cutting short, Prabhu. Actually, sorry for that. But anyway, can I add on, Prabhu? Sami
Yes.
Prabhu is okay with you. Yeah. So the point is, the Vedas, the subject matter in the Vedas can be divided into three parts, right? Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. So my point was that when one repeatedly considers the instructions of his spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada in our case, and reads the scriptures regularly, then by sincerely following the orders of the spiritual master, he gets the knowledge of Sambandha. And when one is in this knowledge of Sambandha or repeatedly reflecting on the instructions of his spiritual master and trying to get a very, very clear picture of this by their mercy, then one actually becomes really humble. Because at that situation, He always considers how great Krishna is, how great Srila Prabhupada is, how great our parampara is, how great the devotees who have dedicated the life of Prabhupada's service are, and how small I am.
Yes, Prabhu.
So, this realization for one to come, there must be a strict following of Prabhupada's instructions. Especially many devotees follow Prabhupada's instructions, but this principle of reading Prabhupada's books and repeatedly trying to recollect Prabhupada's instructions, this is very important. Then by the mercy of Prabhupada, this knowledge of Sambandha grows more and more. And then one actually understands what is my position in relationship to the Supreme Lord and all of his associates. Then that is real humility. Whereas false humility is actually, in other words, a show to get some material recognition. Like, for example, just to give an example, in ISKCON, you see so much false humility. They all bow down and everything. But the moment some senior devotee asks them to ask the juniors to do anything in ISKCON, they will straight away they say, "No, I cannot do this." So false humility is just to get name, fame, recognition, or in
But
other words,
Prabhu, I have one argument. Aren't we also doing false humility because we always say, "Oh, we need to be humble," but then we criticize everyone. So isn't it being like puffed up to criticize everyone all the
No,
time?
no, no, Prabhu. As
Or
per the
that
instructions
false
of,
humility?
there's one lecture by His Grace Tattva Prabhu. I think it was the lecture where he explains the relationship of Lord Shiva with Lord Krishna, and he was answering some questions from some rascal, and he said that real humility we show in front of Prabhupada, but for the rascals, no humility. Then we have to bring them to humility. We have to bring them to humility. Yes, humility
yes,
means in front of Prabhupada and Krishna and the devotees. But when you go outside to preach with rascals, especially those that are envious, we don't show humility to them. Prabhu says these exact words. In fact, even Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also said that if to disobey, where is that verse actually? By Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Very nice.
So
Yeah.
was the humility of Arjuna to not want to kill his relatives, was that false humility, or was it
That
real?
was not humility at all, Prabhu. That was him considering the pros and cons of fighting and not fighting. He was weighing moral principles. He was not considering humility or non-humility at that time. So it can't be applied there. That's what Prabhu said, that when Arjun was faced with the armies of Kurukshetra, he wasn't scared also. He wasn't scared also. He was just weighing moral principles. That's all. He was just considering the different arguments of fighting and not fighting. And then Krishna clarified whatever needed to be clarified at that point. Right. So that doesn't really uh, point out humility, but where is that quote?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, while you search that, we can read this short quote that I found. I think Nimanita Prabhu shared it sometime.
Yes.
Here's one. Can someone
you
read it?
can read it, Sami Prabhu. You can read it.
Yes, Prabhu, you can read.
All right. The Mahajanas, the great spiritual authorities, have advised that one's humility should not be made evident in front of anyone and everyone. To express one's humility in front of an atheist who's envious of Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas, in front of a demoniac person like Ravana, or in front of a pretentious Brahmana, is not Vaishnava Seva, nor is it Trinadapi Sunichena. If a person does so, he can never attain the ability to perform kirtan, nor can he develop taste for chanting the holy names. In fact, such a misplaced display of humility is an act of violence towards other living entities by His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. Very
I
nice,
found
Prabhupada.
I found the verse, by the way. So, as per Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, if to carry out the command of the Vaishnava Guru, I have to be arrogant or brutish or suffer eternal perdition, I am prepared to welcome such eternal damnation and even sign a contract to that effect. I will not listen to the words of malicious persons in lieu of the command of Sri Gurudev. I will dissipate with indomitable courage and conviction the currents of thought of the rest of the world, relying on the strength derived from the lotus feet of Sri Gurudev. I confess to this arrogance. So, praying, so this is actually what Tattva Prabhu himself said, that praying to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and all the Vaishnavas to bless one with this transcendental arrogance so that I can serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada properly. So technically, when we are faced with rascals that are envious of us, there's no question of humility. There is no question of humility. There is always
Could you share that
cutting them
verse?
down. Yes, Prabhu, I can share it, but I access it from my phone because my computer is a bit slow due to the Spotify service in the background. So I'll just share it in the group, in the Telegram group for everyone to see, so that maybe Sami Prabhu can share it. Actually. So I'll just
Yeah, and
share.
just one more point I would like to add. So if it's okay with you, Luvesh Prabhu, right now,
Yes,
can I add?
yes, Prabhu,
Are you
yes,
done with
Prabhu,
your
go ahead.
point?
Go
Right.
ahead, Prabhu, go ahead.
Yeah, just to know I wasn't interrupting you. All right. So the point is that, so Sami Prabhu, you were saying that we criticize everybody like Sadhguru or this cricketer or Virat Kohli for wasting time and all that, right? Actually, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he gives a very nice explanation of this, right? In fact, this is also quoted by Nimai Prabhu as well as Satwit Prabhu in various of the lectures. The point is that to criticize somebody for the protection of oneself, right? Or for the protection of the person who is a bystander, the third person, or for trying to correct the person who's speaking with you, or in other words, to protect yourself, right? To protect a third person who's watching your, basically the audience, to who's watching your argument. Or if you feel that all right, the person whom I'm speaking to that actually can be changed, and I'm criticizing him for the hope that he can change. These three criticisms are actually good, and they must be done. You see, of course, now one must know how to do this as well. It's not that all right, I just do whatever. Okay, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, okay, la, I go. No, no, no. You should actually. One must be like, for example, when you're going and doing book distribution, some guy doesn't even want to buy the book, and he's very envious or whatever. Then you can just speak to him strongly for at least 30 seconds, 45 seconds, so that maybe after 10, 20 years, when he's in like a huge trouble by Maya, he'll remember, oh, one day that devotee told me 10 years back. I think there's something about that impression will be left in his mind. So, like that. So, to criticize the materialist is actually good. In fact, it must be done as a service of Prabhupada. To actually criticize a materialist is actually done not out of envy, but actually out of love. So, that is the most important factor. So, yeah, anyway, that's my point. So, anybody who would like to conclude, 3 to 5 minutes, you can speak up and conclude. Maybe Siddharth Prabhu, would you like to do so?
Yeah,
Or
we
the
have
rest of-
about just over 3 minutes, so someone should conclude now.
Yeah.
Take the time.
Who would want to conclude? They can.
Aryan, why don't you conclude? And this time we won't go radio silent on you. Why not? You're so good at concluding things. You should conclude. You have like
No,
a
Prabhu.
natural
No, Prabhu, I can't.
you have a natural skill for concluding. That's why I asked.
No, Prabhu, I can't actually.
All
Okay.
right, then you conclude, Livesh Prabhu, or ask Siddharth Prabhu to conclude. Anybody, quickly.
Siddharth Prabhu, you conclude. You're also very good at concluding.
Prabhu, I a couple of points.
Yes, Prabhu. Just conclude. We don't have time for new arguments, so you just conclude. Based on all the just give a summary of what arguments were given.
Humility is very much essential, as it is going to be a stepping stone, not a stepping stone. It's going to be it's going to cleave a pathway for us in order to spiritually advance. As stated by several participants here, humility in order to that's going to elevate us, as Kati Prabhu mentioned, the good humility and the false humility. We'll have to focus on something which is not going to puff us up indirectly or subtly. We'll have to take up the good humility by strictly adhering to our spiritual master Srila Prabhupada, by following his instructions and the instructions given by our predecessor acharyas. Just like how the Lion Guru had mentioned that we shouldn't water down the standards of being quiet when it comes to offenses and all. There we can show the envious by strongly preaching, by having no compromise whatsoever. When it comes to our spiritual master, that's where we attract his mercy by having a challenging attitude, as mentioned by Rahul Prabhu earlier. The discerning process doesn't take place in the way it's supposed to for us to be receptive in receiving knowledge. So, in order to gain the mercy, ultimately, a humble attitude must be exhibited by us devotees in order to advance spiritually.
Okay, thank you very much, all devotees, for participating. Thank you, Siddharth Prabhu, for concluding, and also the nice points. Thank you, all devotees, especially, Smita Krishna Prabhu is outside, but he was still sharing very nice verses. And Aryan Prabhu also spoke up. Other devotees have also spoken. Parendra Prabhu also first time hearing him after a long time. Vek Prabhu, Pranjal Prabhu, Sami Prabhu, Rahul Prabhu, thank you as well. So thank you very much. So this ends the group discussion today. It is very nice. And so we can go on to the next session, Sami Prabhu, which is the sadhana chart.
Actually, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yes, Prabhu.
It's a very wonderful discussion. I'm very happy to see. Of course, I cannot see you. I'm sorry today. I have to look at the road, otherwise I'll meet in an accident. I'm not looking at you, but I'm talking. Kindly tolerate. You can hear me?
Yes, Prabhu. Very clear, yeah.
Yes,
Okay, so I had to talk by looking at the eyes, but today I cannot. I'm sorry for that. So it's a wonderful discussion. All of you brought forward, beautiful points about this humility. But actually, Karthi Prabhu just nailed it. That's the most important. I was looking who will say this point, but that is the most important and is a basic of understanding the original reality. Basically, we always think that we should become humble. No, it's not that we should become humble. The actual way of putting it is we should get back our original humble nature. That's what Karthi Prabhu beautifully explained. So it's not something we have to get some new quality or something. Because see, the whole spiritual life is about getting back our lost connection with Krishna. That is sambandha. Because that's the first thing, sambandha avideya prayojana. So the sambandha, it means you understand what is your connection with Krishna. So that is why again we can go back to this Bhagavad Gita 13:8. The humble nature, humility, that is actually the basic sambandha. The sambandha means, we are Jiva Rasarubhyo Nitya Krishna Das, So Das means, we are servant. Servant means who is inferior. Inferior one supposed to be humble. And that is the very reason why we fall down. Because we gave up the inferior quality, the servitude quality, and then we wanted to become superior entity, which is only Krishna. So when we wanted to become superior entity, then Krishna said, okay, now mine, you go and try. And then Krishna sent us here. But now, if we have to go back to the spiritual world, it means we have to get back the lost quality. Yeah, that's what jnana. So the real jnana, the first jnana is to understand that we are a subordinate entity. The subordinate entity is supposed to be having the supporting nature, or serving nature, or abiding nature. So that means you have to understand that you are the second. You are not a first position. You are a second position. So the real education is that we have to understand that sambandha. That is the real humility. So again, that's there. We speak about real true humility and then the false humility. Yeah, because normally we think that humility means we have to we should not look at the eyes, we should not look at the floor, and we should not talk back. Yeah, but these are humility. But these are all actually the what to say, these are reflection of the original humility. If you become humble, this is how you behave. Otherwise, this is how the humble person behave. But without become real humble in your heart, and then but you are trying to imitate the qualities of a humble person, it won't last long for a long time. That's why we have to another point beautifully put by you, that you have to follow the predecessor Acharya. You have to Mahajana Yenagada Sapanta. You have to follow the footsteps of the great personalities. So then you understand that when you are reading Bhagavatam, when you understand, how the great Acharyas are humble in different scenarios, they never took pride, and then They're always subordinate, despite of all the calamities. They always ask for calamities to come back again and again. So when you see all these things, then you're getting a different perceptions that you went through in millions of births and deaths. That's how the humility starts. That's why if you see Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, the seventh verse, and Krishna says, Arjuna says to Krishna that actually what? I'm your Sishyastegam Shadimam Tvam Prapannam, So it means I'm your disciple, please advise me. So when he took a Siksha, that's a disciple position, that is actually humble nature. Because if you look at that Bhagavad Gita, until then Arjuna was not letting Krishna speak. He did not even ask Krishna's opinion on all these things. He was simply talking. Of course, these are valid points. We don't say no. But even though he is talking all the valid points, and he did not even ask Krishna, my dear Lord, my dear friend, no, what you are trying to, what do you think about it? Am I right or am I wrong? So he didn't ask. He just keep on talking, talking, talking. But at one point of time, he understood that by posing this artificial superior nature, I'm not able to drive out my confusions, and so then only way is to take the second position, that is actually inferior position, and surrender to Krishna. But still, that is only the starting of humility. And even then, second chapter, 7th verse, at that time, Arjuna was not really humble. Otherwise, why he would be asking, a different questions to Krishna? I mean, like, why you're confusing me? Then third chapter Bhagavad Gita, he say, Krishna, you're confusing me. Sometimes you're saying jnana is good, sometimes you're saying karma is good, but I'm confused. So he was actually keep on talking, and so slowly, he was becoming more and more humbler by hearing from Krishna. In other words, to become humble, you have to have oral reception on the Shastra. The more and more you hear the Shastra, Astra is weapon, right? So the more and more, you are getting associating with the Shastra, or in other words of Krishna, then you are getting back your original position. And finally, after hearing, second chapter, third chapter, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then again, Arjuna is repeating something similar. 10, 14. He's saying what? Sarvameda Thirdamanye Yanma Madasi Keshava Ahite Bhagavan Vyaktim Vidur Devana Danava. So there, Arjuna is repeating, I accept completely whatever you say. I completely accept whatever you say. Then after that, you see, even though Arjuna is asking questions after that, he was never challenging Krishna. It was a kind of request. My dear Lord, can you show me, if you think I'm qualified, can I see that universal form? How you are into everything? Can I see? Can I know what is the three modes of material nature? Can I know what is divine demonic quality? So it was like more like he was using well, initially he was using Shastra for his own self. But now he is trying to understand Shastra to uplift his original constitutional position. In other words, to enter into the spiritual kingdom. So that is actually the most important thing about the humility. The humility means, as Karthi Prabhu clearly mentioned, that is our getting back our sambandha, original connection with Krishna, and that's a very basic thing. And second thing about the criticism. Yeah, the criticism is concerned. So the criticism should be done by someone who has at least in second class platform. If you are in third class platform, and then don't try to do this. It is not good, because unless you establish your samadha, establish a connection with Krishna, and then you yourself is not humble, you yourself don't know what is a connection between you and Krishna, and then, in the artificial state of nature, we are criticizing, oh, you're rascal, you're fool, you're not chanting, your chanting is not good. So these are artificial, nature, again, artificial humility, and then in the name of, imitating, the name of following the acharyas, and imitating acharyas. We talk like Prabhupada, we talk like Bhakti Siddhanta, we talk like Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And then we always quote Bhakti Siddhanta did, Bhakti Vinod Thakur did. But actually they established a connection with Krishna, and they are actually in the original position, and then they are seeing what is right, what is wrong. Actually, they're first class devotees, but still they come to second class position to preach. So the criticism can be done by someone who is at least a second class platform. The third class devotees, they should not criticize. They should not criticize, because the third class devotee, when he criticize, rather than preaching, he is simply developing his false ego, pride. Oh, I know so many things, See, I'm better. I have defeated him. So I mean, this kind of artificial, you
Prabhu,
are
just
sorry.
Prabhu, just one small question on this, Prabhu. I'm sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah,
but Prabhu, actually, Sami Prabhu's question was criticizing. For example, when we are preaching, sometimes
oh, let me
we find
complete.
some.
Let me
Yes,
complete.
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
So, so like, yeah. So it's only we are actually feeding your false ego, pride. But still, when you go for preaching, when you go for book distribution, and there is no other senior devotees are there around with you, then you have to preach. And in that case, we should be very, very carefully repeating only what our Acharya said in humble nature, and don't think that you have achieved that. For example, Prabhupada say that to repeat that the fact that sun rise in the east, you don't need to be a scientist. You don't need to be a scientist to tell the fact that the sun rises in the east. Because you are hearing from the authorized source, you're repeating. But don't be puffed up as if you invented the sun globe. Don't be so puffed up that I invented the sun globe, I have found out the fact. Don't be like that. Humble state of mind. And then you say, yeah, I myself is a rascal, but you see, but I'm preaching to somebody. I've come to distribute books. I'm talking to somebody. So they are in ignorance. I'm also in ignorance, but still let me repeat what my, spiritual master said. In that context, when you speak, rather than imitating some second class devotees, using rascal fools, rather than using this kind of words, you're in a humble position, and then, following the proper Maryada etiquettes, then your preaching works. For example, when Vidura approached Maitreya to learn the intricacies of Bhagavatam, and then he said, I'm sorry, I'm not actually properly qualified, because, you are elder to me by age. It's not proper Maryada etiquette. So you please go on and approach Uddhava. He will teach you. So that's also to be considered. So when there is some senior devotees around, and then that's always better to show them. But of course, when you go for preaching, book distribution, or you're doing some online preaching, in that situation, without getting puffed up, without getting puffed pride, you carefully do the duty of passing information. You are not giving some conclusion. You are not giving some realizations. You are simply passing informations. Only unless you come to the second class position, you are sharing your realization. Then you can really think that he is lower than you. Then I can teach him. I should guide him. I should help him. Or that is second class position. Yes, Karthik. Yeah, now you tell me.
Yes, Prabhu. The same thing. What I wanted to ask, you only answered, Prabhu. Sorry to interrupt. Yes, Prabhu.
No problem. Okay. So, I mean, this is actually a wonderful point to know. But one more thing I want to add is, then what about this artificial humility of, like a newly joined brahmacharis, or when a new bhakta has joined the temple, and then he has to clean the toilets, and then he has to, always externally behave humble before the senior devotees and serve them, and then, so when suppose Prabhupada is there, we ask them to wash Prabhupada clothes, and then we ask them to clean the table, clean the plate, and all those things. So is it not artificial? Yeah, it's also artificial, no doubt about that. But by doing this, we are slowly training the mind to be humble. So that's actually under the guidance of the spiritual master. Sometimes this artificial humility also good, because of course devoid of like sampradaya, devoid of the spiritual master, when you're trying to be artificially humble, it's simply waste of time, because they'll talk like I'm very humble, but when you challenge them, and they will say you're a rascal, that's how the non-devotees behave. But a devotee, when he do artificial humility, that you have to understand that he is under the guidance of the expert spiritual master or Diksha Guru, or the temple president, and then he is learning how to be humble by imitating the humble nature. So by doing that again and again and again and again, his mind is conditioned, and intelligence is conditioned, and false ego is conditioned to get back the original humbleness. But of course, the Shastra is the one that can give him real humble nature by following the Shastra. I think I think I covered it. This is what I wanted to explain after this. Is it okay? You understood this point?
Yes, Prabhu. Actually, the point that, like for example, like even Tatvik Prabhu says that there are many devotees who actually follow the regulative principle and chant, but because they don't read, they're not in direct. I mean, not all the devotees have actually realized factually their sambandha, right? So since they don't read Prabhupada books, even though they're following other things, like it's sometimes easy to get out of touch and become puffed up, right? Is that also because I added that point? So can that
Yeah.
also be a valid point?
Yeah, that's what I said. Unless you come to the Shastra, unless you only by the Shastra, you can get the real humility. That's what I explained, no? But it's not always Shastric knowledge comes to you by reading books, but the main thing is comes by the mercy of the pure devotees. By sincere service to the advanced personalities, automatically you get Gyan. How Narada Muni got Gyan? Narada Muni did not say in Bhagavatam that after meeting all the great personalities, I understood the importance of Bhagavatam. Then I spent hours of hours together, and I spent about 2 years reading Bhagavatam. Then I become realized. Well, did Narada Muni say like that? What Narada Muni says? How we got the Gyan?
By taking the
By
remnants of the great personality.
simply by serving them, simply by pleasing them, simply by satisfying them. That is actually, of course, you can read books and all those things, but the real Samantha Gyan or this philosophy is giving Gyan Hriday Prakashito. It's actually emanating from your heart by simply serving the pure devotee who is a spiritual master. Yeah. But of course, reading is important because unless you read books, you will not know the importance of the scriptures. Then that reading books will keep you in devotional service. Because if you don't read books, you will fall down. So when you read books, you are constantly in the service of pure devotees by following austerity, and then you are in devotional service. Then by serving the devotees, then the jnana is coming. You should not forget about the missing link. You should not miss the link actually. Not by reading book I become humble. No. By reading book, you are containing yourself in the service to the pure devotees. By serving the pure devotees, then you get back to original consciousness question. The main thing is serving the devotees. It's clear.
Yes, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, the point is that Prabhu, can you hear me, Prabhu, or you're lagging?
Yeah, I can hear, please.
Okay, your video just got stuck. That's why
I can hear.
Okay. Yes, Prabhu. So, like for example, if we are
I'm
reading,
driving now.
yes, Prabhu. That's right. So, if we are reading, we can think that all right, it's Prabhupada's instruction that all of his disciples should read his books for 1 hour a day. So I'm reading Prabhupada books and trying to be attentive so that I can fulfill the order of my spiritual master and of course get the knowledge as well. So is that a good mood to read in? Not like that.
No. See, no, not only that. You see, by reading book, see for example, in our days, in our days we used to collect the photos and stamps, or similar objects and signatures, autographs of the person whom we like very much. For example, if we like some movie actor, what we do is that we'll collect all this stills, different photos, and then like whatever details that we can collect about him. Then by doing that, then our love for him increases. So when you read books continuously, then your attraction towards the Shastra, Sadhu, Guru increases. The purpose of reading books is to increase your sadhana. Shraddha is ongoing. See the faith. Ado Shraddha, Tado Sadhusanga. So the reading books is simply to keep your faith going. Because without the faith, how you can serve the devotees? Then by serving devotees only, the another nivritti happens. It's not that, okay, Prabhupada asked me to read, so I am reading. No, it's not like that. Because by reading books, your faith is getting fixed up. Then you associate with Prabhupada. Because unless you have faith, you don't know who is Prabhupada also. I know there are so many devotees, and then after leaving temple, they are challenging us also. They say there are this actually, this moment is useless waste of time. I was also part of this. And then, see, it was disheartening to hear from one of, like a senior devotee who commented like this in our video. He said, yeah, I also was part of this. It's a scam kind of. I was shocked. Wow. See, what he understood the question of Prabhupada then. So, the reading books, it develop your faith. The faith keeps you going in the serving the devotees. Serving the devotees, will clear the anartha from your heart. And by removing the anartha from your heart, then you get ruchi. Like that it goes on.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Anybody want to ask anything on this particular topic? This particular topic. Otherwise, you can move on to the next session. Yeah.
Prabhu, I think humility is following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, at least for us practically.
Humility is very deep. As I said, humility is your original constitutional position. That is humility.
Okay. The way to revive it is by following the instructions.
Sorry?
The way to revive it is through following the instructions of
That's the
Prabhupada.
That's the second step, no? After Shraddha, then Sadhu Sangha.
Yes, Prabhu.
Right?
Understood.
Then
Yes,
that is second step. That's not humility, but that is a medicine. That is the process to get your humility. Another humility, when it happens, then you are becoming humble. Unless another nivritti happens, you don't become humble. You see in temple also, those who come to temple, they know. Those who have the philosophical understanding, and then they have a better behavior. Vaishnava etiquettes. And then those who having still anarthas in the heart, of course everybody has, but those who have too much anarthas in the heart, then they cannot respect the Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru and the process, that temple program. They don't even care about it. So I would say that following the spiritual master and all these things, these are all the process to become humble. Process to become humble.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Humility is a big word. Humility is actually very deep. Humility is very big. It's not as simple as we think. It's not artificial external show. It's inside. If you look at all of us, when we talk to enemy display Sundar Gopal Prabhu, like we don't make some show outside, but actually, we respect. That is, of course, it doesn't mean that you should not show outside. It's also to be shown outside, but more than what you show outside, it's inside how much you have respect for that person. That is the humility. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, no questions. You can carry on next session. Karthi Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, for answering the questions. So, next event is actually the sadhana chart. So, Sami Prabhu, if you can project the sadhana chart, or you already have, is it? Okay. And you can just read the top 5.
Haribo.
Sami Prabhu, yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay, so today we have a new winner. Before it was Dina Krishna Prabhu, but now Gaura Shakti Prabhu has taken the first place again. Haribo shared first place with Luvesh.
Haribo.
Very nice, Luvesh Prabhu. You got 700 points, but it wasn't enough for the golden ground this time. Osmita Krishna Prabhu also really close, 687 points. Then there's Srikanth Prabhu at 5th place and Akashdeep Prabhu at 6th place. They had 338, 32 and 238 points. And Zero Prabhu is also filling, and Siddharth Prabhu. So a little bit more active week than last week, but still we don't have even 10 persons filling. So I hope next week we will have more increase on this. Yes, Prabhu. That's the Sadhana.
What about Neil Prabhu? Is he here? Is he here today?
I'm just checking, Prabhu. No, Prabhu, he's not here. Actually, he has exam. He told me he has a last exam on Monday, tomorrow. So I
Okay.
told him he can join for some time, but I think because of that, he's preparing for his exam.
Okay. So do you think that we have to revive all the groups? Like last time I think all the group thing got outdated, right?
Yes,
You
Prabhu.
mean
We used
the
to have a groups, no?
team group, that one, team
Yeah.
leader and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it got outdated, but I don't know, Prabhu, how it's going to work now.
Hmm. You have to see because it was working very well.
Oh, is it?
It was working very well, no? The team leader was guiding them and people were coming. Something is, at least some system should be there. If no system means things will become out of control. Try to put back, try to create the systems groups again based on the current members and then put the sincere ones as the leaders.
But the leaders can be same, no, Prabhu, because leaders like
Yeah,
that
that's what I'm
time.
saying. That's what I'm saying. If they are still available, you can put them because many of them join the temple and
Yes.
so you see. But I think accordingly you create the groups and then you can insert the group leaders of their job. Because if we don't come in the morning, it's very very difficult. Right? Those are austerity very meager. They cannot get the service to the pure devotees. And how about another liberty? No way. So, that's it. Must wake up in the morning and chant Hare Krishna. They must do that. Why they are not filling it up? It's not accepted. See, Prajal Prabhu spent too much time in creating this app. And then, we are putting so much efforts. But if you cannot fill it, means, what is this? And then that shows how serious you are in spiritual life. Hmm. Yeah, we have about 17, 20 people here in the meeting. But, only 10 guys are filling it up. Why? Why like that? Why not others? Why not others filling it up? They don't want to go back to Krishna or what? So you find out, I think we need a leader system again. Leader and therefore, like a team. Depends upon the number of people available and the number of leaders available. You decide how many members per team and all those things. Karthi Prabhu, you get back
Yes,
the
Prabhu.
system.
Okay, Prabhu, yeah, noted.
Okay, we'll revive it because I was sometime little inactive for some weeks. So I also did not notice that the system, the group system is not working now. Okay, you start again.
Yes, Prabhu, I will do that.
Hare Krishna. Good, congratulations to all the winners. Very happy to see Gaurav Shakti Prabhu is back to his original constitutional position, first rank. He's always first rank, no? He's always in the first position, right? Before
Yes, Prabhu.
he's
Yes,
back to the position now.
Dvesh Prabhu also first, Prabhu.
Yeah, yes. He's also. Yes. So you started, huh?
Yes, Prabhu, I will do that.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Prabhu, now Q&A, Prabhu. So,
Okay.
yeah, so.
So when we are starting this thing, like from next week, is it?
Yeah, Prabhu, I just need
What
some
I
time. Yeah, I just need some time to figure out like systematically
Yeah,
because
no
since we are
problem.
doing it for many weeks, I was thinking first let us plan for the first few weeks itself like properly. Then slowly we can, after discussing, can do that.
Oh, no problem.
So I just had a few clarifications on that. So I didn't want to call you and disturb you. So I can ask you now.
Yeah, can no problem.
All right. So basically, the whole point is that Prabhu, like all of us have to do our homework from a certain topic which is chosen, and you will come speak for 20-30 minutes, and after that we have to share our points, right?
Yes, because when you come with some little bit preparation, then you understand much more better way. Rather than come like a plain paper. If you come with some little bit, at least some reading on this particular topic. For example, like the prayers of wait, maybe did I miss it? Okay, not this one. Okay, so prayers of Vishwadev. So without any preparation, if you come, you won't understand anything of it. At least read that particular portion, and then you come. At least you know the context of what we discuss.
Hmm. Yes, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, yeah, okay, I understood that point. So, the difference between like the group discussion and the other sessions where we are speaking and this one is that we make some preparation from our side,
Yeah.
right? Okay, that way, whatever understanding can be like more.
No, this
That's the
is
point.
completely different from group. It's not group discussion. It's not group discussion. It is actually a systematic way of understanding the scriptures. From Bhagavad Gita, because you all quote randomly. You quote from third canto, fifth canto, sixth canto. But like a proper way of understanding Shastra is to go by order. So what we do is that we go by order and then we cover. So it's like give you some a glimpse of the specific letter of instruction. What is there inside? Like kind of introduction to you. And then after that, if you want to share something on the particular points, you can do that, but optional, it's not compulsory. But if you do, it is nice. You know,
Hmm.
it's not
Yes, Prabhu.
it's not going to be like group discussion. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? Not like that.
Yes,
Maybe
Prabhu.
you
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to you want to share something which is not explained by me, and then you heard from other devotees. You want to share it? Yeah, you can go ahead on that particular topic.
Yeah, so basically, like you will speak, and then after that, whatever learnings or notes or the Prabhus have taken,
Yeah,
whatever they've read, we have to ask them to speak up, right?
whatever is not spoken, you can some extra points you can share.
Or whatever is not spoken, is it?
Yeah.
But what if they've learned something and it matches with what you've given? They can speak that
That's
again.
what I said. Whatever is not something new, which is not there, or of course it should not. I mean, I don't say that you should not say what I'm saying. Not like that. Maybe some
Okay.
interesting points. For
Mm.
example, about the humility, and everybody was having different things now to discuss. Everybody had different points, like
Yes,
maybe
bro.
they are hearing some other devotees, some different perception of information got shared, and then you want to bring it here, and then you want to share with your friends. You can do that. Of course, you can also repeat something similar to what I said or the same thing I said. Not wrong, but the
Okay.
idea is actually if you have more information on this, you can share. So that will be beneficial for me also. I also can learn, no?
Mm.
Mm.
Yes, bro. So, okay, bro, I got clear of this. So the time limit is about 1 hour total, including your speech, right?
Yeah, can.
So, and how long will be speaking, Prabhu, approximately?
I don't know. I think 1 hour is fine. We can. It's fine. It should be fine because these are all very huge topics.
Okay, okay. All right.
1 hour should
So,
be fine. Mm.
okay, Prabhu. So time is also okay. So my
Because I
point is that,
want to
Prabhu.
I want to
Mm.
move this to the next level. Otherwise, always group discussion presentation. No, you have to go to the next level. You know. Mm.
Yes,
You
bro.
have to move on to the next level. Yeah.
Yes,
Tell me.
bro. So the point is that, Prabhu, so since we are going to do it like a very, like organized manner, before even going Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam and all, can we start with the small books first? Like, for
Yes,
example,
yes,
Science of
of instruction.
Self-Realization. Oh, okay.
Sense of relation not required. You can go to left of instruction,
Okay.
and then you can go to this Ishopanishad.
Okay.
This self realization, all bro. What self realization? That you are hearing, so many classes. So those things are not. But you
Right.
go to the left of instruction, and then Ishopanishad, something like that, and we enter the Bhagavad Gita. Then we'll go to Bhagavatam. Like that, you can proceed.
So then, Prabhu, I mean, for example, so then we can start with NOI
Yeah.
and then 11 verses, 11 weeks. It's like that. So
No,
one
no,
verse per week.
no. 1 week NOI. That's it.
Oh, one
That's why
week
I
full
said,
NOI.
yeah. That's what I said. It's not going to be a class on NOI. It is going to be a kind of a table of contents, So a kind of table of contents. What is there in NOI? Like a postmortem, like a doctor give a postmortem report, right? Or it's a
Summary, yeah.
summary of this book. That's it.
But
What is
Prabhu,
the what
how?
is NOI? Of course, see, this is not going to you cannot understand NOI by this class, but at least you know what is inside NOI. That is the purpose. Then you have to read yourself NOI.
Hmm.
So first chapter Bhagavad Gita. What is first chapter Bhagavad Gita? How many verses are there? No, we won't be covering all the things. But we'll be discussing, like a story format, how this first chapter, in what context it is started, why it is started, what was the question of Arjuna, and then what was actually, like a situation in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and then what was the initial point of Arjuna, what is he trying to say, why is he trying to say, in what scenario he's trying to say, all these things we'll discuss in this class. Who are
Right,
all
yeah.
there? Who are all there? Like what was their mindset? What is the perception of Sanjaya? What is the perception of Dhritarashtra? So like that. So that will give some idea. Okay, this is what actually first can do, or this is what the first chapter. Okay, and the second chapter. Like so. Basically, it is to like give the connection between everything. To the like humility, like we spoke about humility, and then we connected Samantha, and then we connected the inferior position, right? And then we connected, like that jnana is actually humility. How we connect the different things, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Likewise, the connection between, like a different chapters of Bhagavad Gita and then different literatures. That's it.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. So basically, yeah, all right. So if NOI means 1 week NOI, and
Yeah,
the devotees, they have to, preferably if they can read the whole NOI, that'll be the best. But at least bare minimum would be the translations and bare
correct,
minimum, right?
correct, correct. At least do some homework and come. That's it. Mm.
Okay, yeah. Right. Okay, Prabhu, then we can start from next week. So we'll start with NOI because I think many devotees have read also and they're a little bit familiar already, so it'll help them to revise a little bit easier way.
Yeah.
Basically prepare a little bit easier way
Mm.
first time. So okay, so just to confirm with you, you said the time limit is 1 hour, so we have to start like this. All the devotees have to do their homework. After you have spoken, of course they can repeat the same points, no problem. But if they can add on to basically the points what they've heard which are a little bit different, that is the point, so that we actually know the connection between the scriptures properly.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else I have to keep in mind or something?
No, that's it. No problem. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, Prabhu.
Start. We'll start and then we'll see how it goes. On because it's a new attempt now, then we'll see if while on the process if something is to be implemented, we can implement it. The time frame and all those things, we'll see how it goes.
Yes, Prabhu, sure. We can start by next Sunday, Prabhu. I will just do some more research and then we'll start with NOI.
Yeah,
now.
can.
And just one more doubt, Prabhu. Like you're saying, right? Like like we have to go next level. So along with this, is there any other things like we can do or something? Because as you said, the time limit I've like implemented, and like the events also I've implemented. Now it's a little bit more punctual. And anything else? Maybe if I'm not doing
The
anything.
most important thing is actually, like when we start doing new things, we stop sometimes, no more sometimes, most of the time we stop doing the previous things. Like now we are not filling the sadhana chart, like we were not focused on learning the slokas, like we are not doing that. So if you want to go to the next level in your bhakti, then you should not stop doing the basics. If you don't work on your foundations, you don't work on your basics, then it's very difficult to go to that next stage. So kindly come for the morning session, a reading session, and then fill up the sadhana chart. those who are serious. Then it really helps you. Otherwise, it won't yield much fruits.
Yes, Prabhu. Reading session also, it's like now less people only actually. Labang Prabhu, Sami Prabhu, myself, Vivek Prabhu,
So
Pranjal
you put
Prabhu,
the
of course.
leaders, put the leaders. We'll
Yes,
see how
Prabhu.
it works. Put the
Yes,
leaders and then put the new bhaktas under them. Mhm.
yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. I will do that, Prabhu.
Yeah,
Thank you, Prabhu. I will just do that.
Hare Krishna.
So, any questions, devotees can type in the chat box if they cannot speak. But if you can speak, that will always be better. Personally, it'll be better interaction. But if those who are in situation where they cannot speak, then please do type their questions, and Sami Prabhu will read the questions from the chat to Prahlad Prabhu, and you can get your answers. So anyone who has the questions, you can ask now. If you have the, uh, if you can speak actually.
I have one question, Prabhu. May I ask?
Yes, Hare Krishna.
So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna actually mentions. Actually, we had a long conversation about this in the Telegram group, Shloka Learning group, and it was based on one of the stories actually that I found. Just 1 second. So one of the ISKM Instagram stories was there, and it said that the question actually was if philosophers and all are situated in the mode of goodness or in the mode of uh, passion or ignorance. So of course, Bhagavad Gita says that you know that it's they're in the mode of goodness. But how can we see that, Prabhu? Because aren't philosophers kind of just wasting their time? You know. So I'll
See,
actually,
the
yeah.
philosophers, I think I spoke about it 2 weeks back in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse number 16. Krishna speaks about different kind of pious people. So, Artha, Artha, Ati, Jigyasu, Jnani, Cha, Daridra, So, uh, as I told that time, Ramanuja basically uh, divides these pious people in 3 categories, and which is actually more elaborately spoken by Krishna in 4 categories. Basically, Artho, Arthati, these 2 people are searching for opulence. Artho is crying for the lost opulence, and Arthati is looking for new opulences in his life. So basically, these 2 people, they are not very intelligent, but still somehow or other they have come to Krishna. So that's why they are pious people. But whereas this Jigyasu category, and Ramanuja is explaining Jigyasu as people who are in self-realization. It means they are most into Atman. What is Atman? Activities of Atman. So how the Atman function. So basically, since they don't accept the supremacy of the Shastra, and then they are in the speculating question. But still they are away from this mind. Away from these senses, you know, and like mind also, they just want to speculate about the Atman, not about the senses again. So they can be accepted that they are in mode of goodness because their questions or their speculations are all about the Atman, question of the soul, and not about how to have sex with this person, how to attract this girl, like how I can become. No, not about the Siddha Purush, not like that. I want to become Siddhi. They are actually speculating. Oh, maybe I'm this, maybe I'm that, maybe I'm like Buddha, there are so many personalities. They are actually giving the different analysis of the soul. So unless they are considered to be node of goodness because they are situated or trying to be situated in the platform of the Atma. This is a original question. But the jnani is the one who, after the research of Jignasu, then you go to the next level of establishing into the jnana that Paramatma. What is Paramatma? What is Jivatma? What is the connection? And he is actually a most intelligent person. But still, that jnani also is contaminated by the, like karma. And then, like dharma, jnana, it's not, there is no, even though you understand the position of Paramatma, but the jnana aspect is more than the bhakti aspect. So he's more into jnana aspect more than the bhakti aspect, even though he realized the position of Paramatma. That's what Krishna is saying in next sloka, Tesham Jnani, what is that? Tesham Jnani, Yukta Eka Bhakti Vishishata. So then he say, yeah, these jnanis are there, but this special jnani, among all the jnanis also, that jnani who is Eka Bhakti Vishishata. Oh, he is very dear to me. He is the topmost and he is very dear to me. So that is the reason we have to take them, these speculators and philosophers, that they are in mode of goodness. At least they are in mode of goodness, because most of them, they don't eat meat, and then they are not in the senses and sex life, or they devoid of this, trying to go beyond the body, and then of course they will end up society based instructions like plant trees and save their water, they go to that platform. But still, at least they will be in a position of go at least beyond the senses, you see. But the pretenders, like some rascals, we don't call them as philosophers. Those bogus people, they are showing outside something but doing inside something, and that they are not philosophers, they are cheaters. You should not confuse philosophers and rascals.
Yes, Prabhu. But along with the philosophers was also mentioned the scientists, because basically the story was like the quiz of the day, that scientists and philosophers come under which mode of material nature. And I actually
Scientists and philosophers cannot be compared. Scientists and philosophers cannot be compared, because the philosophers that we speak about, that they are about the soul. Understand? The philosophers, they are always trying to understand my connection with this world. Not that without my connection, what is this, what is that? What is the use of knowing what is in the moon? Like you should know what is my connection with moon, right? What is my connection with sun? What is my connection with actually the globe? What is my connection with this person? What is my connection with that person? Is philosopher. Whether understanding without relating yourself, you bluntly, you're trying to understand this, trying to understand that, then these scientists are fools. These scientists are fools. But the olden days, those days, those scientists, they were also philosophers, because they understood the question of the self. They were trying to relate themselves with this of every stars and planet. They are trying to relate themselves with everything happening in this universe. So the scientists are fools and rascals. They are not philosophers.
Yes, Prabhu. But Prabhupada actually places them in the same category in the purport of chapter 14, verse 9, where in the purport Prabhupada says that a person in the mode of goodness is satisfied by his work or intellectual pursuit, just as a philosopher, scientist, or educator may be engaged in a particular field of knowledge and may be satisfied in that way. So the thing is, in the previous verses purport, the previous verse to that, the purport in that verse, Prabhupada indicated that in the mode of goodness, by development of knowledge, one can understand what is what. And I came to the conclusion that obviously the only type of knowledge that can actually tell us what is transcendental knowledge. So therefore, the conclusion I'm reaching is that the type of scientists, philosophers, and educators that Prabhupada mentions in the next verses purport could only refer to such scientists, philosophers, and educators who are studying this material world in relation to Lord Krishna. Because how else does this explain or reconcile the apparent contradiction? Because apparent, because Prabhupada does not.
Even if you look at 7:15 of Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna speaks about the four kind of rascals, now. And if you look at this purport, one of them are scientists. Right?
Yes, Prabhu. Namam dushkritino mudha prapadyante naradhama mayaya pahrata jnana asuram bhavamashrita.
If you go to the purport, go to that translation.
Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons do not surrender unto me.
So if you look at the purport, Prabhupada also talks about the scientist. Of course, read this long back, and Prabhupada also talks about, see, scientist is there. Is there?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. I see.
So here Prabhupada is calling them as, like miscreants, right?
Yes,
And
Prabhu.
how can they be in mode of goodness?
Yes, Prabhu. That
Where
does
he
make
is rascals. So the real scientist, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse number 32, among the signs, I am the science of soul. Right? Is there?
Yeah.
Of
Of
all
all
the signs, I am.
creations, yes, Prabhu. Of all creations, I am the beginning and the end, and also in the middle, O Arjuna. Of all sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self, and among logicians, I am the conclusive truth.
So it may not be to Krishna, at least to the platform of soul. Still, he can be considered to be in mode of goodness and he's a pious guy. Because the evolving process, you see, he's not having much pious to understand the Paramatma. He's still in that soul level. But in next life, maybe it will transform next level of understanding who is Krishna. So the jnana is actually the gradual process. Now he's at least in the self-realization question.
Yes, Prabhu.
What is it
Thank you
called?
for
Atma?
clarifying, Prabhu. Yeah.
Something as a term is there. Atma. Atma. Atma Pravakshan. The self-realization, the term, one term is there. Realization of the self. I forgot. That last week I was explaining about this. I forgot that term of it, So we should be positioned in that. Anything, as long as, like they are they're scientists or educators, whoever it can be, when they are trying to relate everything with themselves, then they can be considered in mode of goodness. Like all
Yes.
these, like Hatha Yoga teachers, and then those who are trying to teach this pranayam and all those. At least they are actually not, at least not actually those who are trying to teach the sense gratification, yoga for sex life, and not that kind of rascals. But the real people who are trying to control the senses, intelligence and mind, false ego, to understand something better, superior, and they should be considered more of goodness. The eating style also, you see, all the yogis, they eat very little and then they don't eat meat, no onion, no garlic. So the eating style, everything you see, it is conducive to keep them in mode of goodness. Even the Buddhists, they don't eat onion, garlic.
Yes,
They don't eat meat. Real Buddhist. The yogis. Many of the yoga program, you see, like, even though even the rascal yogis, but still they will tell you no meat. No meat.
Yes, Prabhu.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Actually, Prabhu,
But
if you're available,
of course,
yeah.
to add on a point, our aim is to not to be fixed in mode of goodness. Mode of goodness also conditioning. So nothing to be great about being in mode of goodness, you see.
Yes,
What is the
Prabhu.
use of being in mode of goodness?
Yes, Prabhu. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Actually, Prabhu, if you're free next week Sunday or something, if you are able to attend the Istagoshti session next Sunday, I can show you the lengthy conversation we had in the Shloka learning group about this. Because I sent the story and I was like, help me make sense of this. So we had a very, very detailed, very, in-depth conversation and discussion about what this is. So yeah, I'll show it to you next Sunday if you are here. It's very nice if you could help analyze the conversation.
But the conclusion was something similar to what we said, or
I don't know, Prabhu. I actually have to look back.
no
But we
conclusion?
together,
No
yeah.
conclusion.
Lulvesh Prabhu, I said something similar, right? To you in via personal voice message, is it?
I think so, Prabhu. I have to look.
Okay, do one thing, you hear and then you tell me if I told something correct.
Yes, Prabhu.
I want to know, I'm curious. Actually, Prabhu, like Prahlad Prabhu, like although this humility point, I knew I'm going to get the right answer because I already heard you answer it long back. So I said I had to just repeat exactly as you said. So that is what I said.
Transcendental cheating, Prabhu.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, just one more question. Actually, there's no question in the chat box. I mean, chat. So I
Hmm.
just have one question. I mean, two questions actually, Prabhu. So one is about the conditioning and the mode of goodness, Prabhu. So as far as I have understood, the conditioning and the mode of goodness is that it is not a stable position. That a person in the mode of goodness, he can anytime fall back to passion and he can become puffed up. So because of him being in a, for example, a Brahmana, of course, mostly is associated with the mode of goodness, but still the tendency to become passionate is there because suddenly he looks at others and then he looks at his position of cleanliness, austerity, sense control, mind control, and all this, and he becomes puffed up. So that is actually the conditioning and the mode of goodness, right?
The condition of mode of goodness is explained in 14th chapter. Is conditioned by happiness and what is that? What is that verse? Is conditioned by happiness and knowledge. Tatra Sadvam Nirmalatvat Prakasham. It was around 14.7 somewhere. I think 14.7 if I'm not wrong. Just go Tatra Sadvam Nirmalatvat. I think one verse before, is it? Yeah, one verse before. What is this translation? Sanskrit? Yeah, read this.
Yes, Prabhu. Translation. O sinless one, the mode of goodness, being purer than the others, is illuminating and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge.
So it is not that they will fall back to passion ignorance, because in the material world, nobody can be in mode of goodness forever. Nobody can be in mode of, like passion forever. Nobody can be in mode of ignorance forever. Even actually, even Ravana got so many good qualities, right? Even Indra has so many bad qualities. So it's not that nobody is going to be in mode of goodness forever, and that is not the condition, because gunas are always changing. Gunas are always, because it depends upon the food and that the time of the day, and then and then there are so many things. But this conditioning means if you are a person in mode of goodness, you always want to be peaceful. For example, you want to be in a clean place, and then you want to be, the hillside, and then you want to be eat something like curd rice or like which is conducive for the body. You want to eat something which is conducive for the body. You want to associate with people who are actually conducive to create some good vibrations, and then like happiness, and then so you always want to be peaceful, and then you are puffed up about your knowledge. You want to learn so many things, so you want to do a lot of researches, so that you think that is ultimate aim. Because if you are conditioned mode of goodness, then you think that, oh, I think ultimate aim is to be peaceful, and then ultimate aim is to become knowledgeable. Clear? But when you go beyond the mode of goodness, then you understand that, oh, my job is to, like use the knowledge to understand who is the real Tattvavit, actually who is Tattvavit. No, it's Tattva. Yeah, Tattva is there. The knowledge is there. But actually, who created, right? Like Bhagavad Gita 15:15, it says now, aham, what is that? Vedantavit, Vedakrit, Eva Chaham. So that is Ishra. Krishna is Vedantavit, Vedakrit. He is the creator of the, like the Vedas, and he is compelled of the Vedas, and then he only understands the Vedas, and he is the one spoken about in the Vedas. Three things. One is a compiler, second thing, and second thing is actually he's the one spoken about in the Vedas, and the third thing, he is the one who understands the Vedas. Read the translation.
Yes, bro.
Second. I met one. I met one Trivedi in the bus, long back, about 12 years or something. I met him in the bus, and then he was sitting next to me, and then he started a conversation. By looking at me, he understood that we are something spiritual personalities. Then we started a conversation. Then I asked him, "What you're doing?" He said, "Actually, I'm a Trivedi. I'm teaching this big Ajur Sama Trivedas. I'm teaching the Gurukul teacher." I said, "Wow, very nice." Now I asked him, "Who is Supreme Person?" Oh, that's an interesting question. Like sometimes it is Shiva, sometimes it is Brahma, sometimes it is Vishnu. So it's very confusing. Sometimes when Indra is called a supreme person, it's very tricky question. See, that's what. Vedesh Durlabam, Adurlabam, Atma Bhakta. So it's very difficult to understand by the Vedanta. What is it? But Veda pa, the path of Vedas, right? If you're a mode of goodness, then you're conditioned. Okay, you want to learn, you want to learn, you want to learn. You're conditioned by the and then peaceful nature. You got it? This is
Yes,
your
Prabhu.
question.
So basically, yes,
Mm.
Prabhu. So basically, the thing is, somebody in the mode of goodness, he always want to learn more and he want to be peaceful. So in other
Yes.
words, he's still attracted to the material world because he thinks he can be. He found a method to be peaceful in the material world.
Yes, of course. That's what. They're also mode of goodness. You see, some people they eat only vegetarians. They're vegetarians. They don't go for. It's basically the brahmanas. They don't know any philosophy, but they don't go fight unnecessarily. They don't be aggressive, right? They eat only curd rice most of the time, and they're mode of goodness. So they don't do any, even though they are foolish, but they don't make any big harm to the society or the world, right? That's
Yes,
why
Prabhu.
they say that the four category of people, right? They are called as lazy intelligent and busy intelligent and lazy fools and busy fools. You know that?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, material and spiritual comparison, lazy or busy, right?
Yeah. So the lazy intelligent is Brahmanas. Brahmanas are lazy intelligent. It means they are intelligent, so they are lazy materially. Materially they are lazy. They always try to postpone the material things. They are not after sense gratifications. They try to postpone this, but they are very very intelligent. Materially they are very lazy. But the busy intelligent, they are intelligent, but they are also materially busy. The Kshatriyas. Yeah, but they know that Krishna is a protector, everything, but still they also want to protect parallelly, under the. So they also want to do that. So they want heroism and then all this charity. So they develop all these qualities. They are called as busy intelligent. And then, and then lazy fool, Vaishyas. They're materially lazy. They don't move their body much. They have money. So money only speaks with them. So they're sitting in the room and then, they make money and then, but they are actually, fools because spiritually they think ultimately aim of life is to make money. They think like that. That's why they're called as lazy fools. But the Shudras, they're called as busy fools. They are very, very busy in foolish activities, how to enjoy the senses, how to create some, so not just Shudras, it is, anything below that category of Vaishyas. They are also called as busy fools. So those who are more at least they don't need so more goodness need not be devotees or spiritual personalities. Just take the things favorable to be in goodness. You see the Bhagavad Gita 17th chapter, it clearly explains. Even some part of 18th chapter also, it explains that how the mode of goodness, how one speaks, how one work, how one actually behaves, how one do yajna, how one do tapasya, how one do charity, and all is explained. No? So they take advantage of the qualities in mode of goodness. Then they are mode of goodness. Mode of goodness is not related to your spiritual position, but you have to understand. Not always clear.
Yes, bro. Yeah, that's why sometimes we see like even maybe somebody is not a devotee or he's not even inclined in spiritual life,
Yeah,
but he might have some interest of keeping his body healthy by doing a lot of fasting and just eating maybe 1 or 2 times a day and doing some
yes,
simple exercise and
yes,
eating and waking up in a regulated time.
correct.
People are like that. I've seen also
Correct.
in YouTube. I've seen.
In other words, mode of goodness is actually a good quality to promote you spiritually, but that doesn't mean that people are in mode of goodness or spiritual people,
Yes, bro.
like the Brahmanas. Brahmanas are naturally they have better opportunity to make a spiritual life, but doesn't mean that all the Brahmanas are spiritually inclined.
Yes, bro. Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, bro. Yeah, I got my answer, bro. The fact is that they want to be peaceful and they want to learn more, but in fact,
Yeah.
they're not detaching themselves from the material world. They want to create a situation wherein they can be peaceful in the material world, but
Yes.
still there is ignorance because how we can be peaceful in the material world. Yeah.
Correct.
Yes, so and just one more question, Prabhu. I mean, Prabhu, like I was just thinking, like Prabhu, how can we like increase more number of like devotees, Prabhu, in our ISK Vaishnav Sangha, and like how can we increase the number? Because I
That
got a little bit greedy after seeing how the ISKCON they were doing and everything.
I
So
don't
I
know.
was
I don't know.
so,
We cannot increase or decrease. That is done only by the mercy of the Lord. We can just
yes, so
endure. We
yes, so
can
how
just
to
work.
endeavor, Prabhu?
Yeah, just work for Prabhupada, and then understand that. And then they say that what they say that the world is not affected by the like a bad people, but they say that the world is having problem because of the inactiveness of like good people. They say like that. There's one saying like that. It's not a shastra, but it's a similarly. In that context, the devotees, we know that Prabhupada is actually the like Prabhupada system is a proper system and ISKM is the only way. We know that, but we are not putting our efforts. We are not putting our efforts to preach and like get people, new people, and then those who are like in our group, we are not putting our efforts to uplift them in next stage. Then how do you expect Prabhupada's mercy? So we have to become more like serious about understanding this mission of Prabhupada and the purpose why this istagoshti session is created. And then like we have to preach rather than doing some Prajalpa in this Vaishnava Sangha group, or rather than showing our like aggression, so-called aggression in the name of preaching. We should understand it's a responsibility, and then try to help each other, and then help the new bhaktas and uplift them to next stage. Then we see things will happen. It takes time, Prabhu. Don't be result oriented, but the effort should be there. Effort should be going. Not only to compare this, not only to compare all these numbers. It happens. It takes time. We our purity also to be increased. Like Prabhupada says, if Krishna wants, he can give the whole world. Can you manage it or not? Prabhupada said. It also talks about our purity and then our sincerity and then our seekings and then our quality to get more. So Krishna is giving what can. So your quality so
Yes, so
not increase number, decrease number. It's all done by Krishna. We can't do all this. Can
actually,
give
Prabhu, your voice is lagging, Prabhu. I think due to your traveling, maybe it's lagging. Like very not clear, Prabhu, not at all clear. Like very less. Maybe Prabhu, you can just try to switch off your camera, Prabhu. Oh, oh, no, Prabhu. Like maybe I think it's because of the network. Can you like try to switch off your camera and try to speak, Prabhu? Maybe then we can hear you more clearly.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, now better. Now much better. Yeah, yeah, correct. Yeah, it's now it's okay.
So you heard what I said, or you want me to
Yeah, yeah. I heard.
repeat?
Basically, you were saying that it depends on our purity and our endeavor, uh, and our trying to preach rather than just arguing in the group or something, right?
Yeah, correct. We have to understand the responsibility and then you work on it, increase your purity, and then
Yes,
like put your efforts and the numbers are decided by Krishna, not by us.
yes,
Numbers are controlled by him, not by our activities.
yes,
Our job is to preach. When we qualify, Krishna give more numbers. When you don't qualify, Krishna will give result accordingly.
yes, so
Hmm.
yes, so I will try to.
Okay. So how
Yes,
about
so.
others? All passive, huh? Nobody's talking anything.
Neil Prabhu joined, Prabhu. I mean, he joined
Oh,
now only.
Hare Krishna,
okay.
the Prabhu, then the Jai Shri Prabhupada, Hare Krishna, Neil Prabhu,
Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu's previous example happens all goes to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. I was just asking about you. What happened to you? I
Prabhu,
just asked.
actually, exam, Prabhu, that's why.
Yeah, he told me. He told me.
Yes, Prabhu.
When the exam finishing?
Yeah, Prabhu, we have a last exam tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow last exam. Then you're coming to Pondicherry after exam or what?
Prabhu, please, from day after tomorrow, our summer vacations will start. I will see,
Ah.
Prabhu, like, if I can take out some time.
You want us to book the ticket for you, or you're booking your ticket yourself?
Prabhu, I'll see.
You come here, no? Summer vacation means you should be here in the temple and take the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Kindly give association
Yes,
so
sir.
that I can get purified.
Prabhu, I'm very fallen, bro.
You come and help us.
Yes, Prabhu, I'll planning. I'll see, Prabhu, if I can take
How
some
long? How
one
many
week.
days?
Maybe I have to see, bro, because like my parents will go on some vacation. So first I
Ah,
need to go with them, and then if I can take out some time, then
okay. How long your vacation?
I think it's yes, it's 10 days. So 10 days.
Oh, 10 days. Okay. Try to come. Try to come here. Hmm?
Yes, bro. Yes, sir.
Okay. Good. Good. Are you going? Are you chanting every day with the devotees?
Yes, bro. Now during exam time, I'm chanting alone. Means I'm not joining in the morning. Means I study in the morning, then I chant alone. But
Exam time
generally,
also
I
you can come and chant sometimes. When you're chanting, you join the group and chant now. Then you can
yes,
leave
bro.
early. No problem.
Yes,
Okay. Hmm. Okay. Good. Very good. Thanks for joining.
yes. Thank you, bro.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hmm. So how about everybody else? All very quiet today.
Actually, Prabhu, Neil Prabhu has a brother also. I don't think I told you about this. Like his brother is studying in NIT Rourkela. He's standing 16 rounds and taking prasadam only. And he's following all the regulative principles. But he's shy to
Oh,
associate with us.
okay. Good.
So yeah, he's there over here. His name is Akshay.
Akshita.
No, Prabhu, Akshadeep.
Akshadip.
Akshdeep.
Akshdeep.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Good. Thank you. Thanks for coming and joining. I think he should be in the same college as our Amit Prabhu, right? Amit or Abhay, right?
Amit, Amit. Amit
Amit
Prabhu and
only.
him both same university actually.
Ah, same university. Okay. Good. Thanks for coming, Prabhu. How are you doing?
He cannot speak because he is living in the ISKCON base. He's staying in the ISKCON devotees. But
Okay.
messaging, he
Okay.
said, Hare Krishna.
Okay. I cannot read. I'm driving. It's okay. Good. So what about Manu Prabhu? He's missing for a long time.
Yeah, actually, Manu Prabhu, he just messaged me and he told me that he's taking a social media detox. So he's just staying away from all of his social media and everything, basically from his phone, so that he can improve in spiritual life. That's what he told me.
Oh,
So yeah.
okay. Okay then. Okay then. So if nothing else, we can stop.
Yes, so I don't know. Today everybody is very quiet.
Looks like I accidentally entered into ISK Vaishnavi Sangha.
No, Prabhu.
It
Yes, so.
remembers me. It remembers me of my session with the Mataji's. Once I was asked to speak in the Mataji Sangha, and everybody off the video, and then nobody speaks, and I felt like I was in a dark room. Nobody speaks. Hello, if anybody is there, I was shouting, anybody there?
Yes, so
I need to poke. I just tell me something. Then after Sunday, I said, man, I don't want to go to the Sangha anymore. I was asked to go because that time Pavitra Mataji left, and Nobody will take care of that. I feel like I'm in that session today. So all right, I think all are busy. How is
Prabhu, but
Dharani, bro?
yeah, he's also there. He said he'll call you.
He'll call me and silently he'll speak or message me, or he will call and text me, or he will call and talk to me.
No, Prabhu, call and talk to you only.
Call and talk to me, yeah? Okay.
Yeah. Monday he said he'll call.
Okay. Good.
And
Okay then.
also
Tell me.
Prabhu, Leboang Prabhu he's planning to come India also.
Oh, okay.
To our
Good.
temple. He's telling me the same money, so he'll also call you. Siddharth Prabhu said he'll come, but June. I don't know why so much time. But he said he will come on June, maybe Ratha Yatra time.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
So this is the update.
See, no, maybe he's busy. No problem. Whenever he's free, he can come.
Yes, bro.
Okay. Thanks for all the update. Thanks for everyone who has come today. I was planning to reach Pondicherry in the afternoon itself, but I went to somebody's like I need to do some research. I went to some shops and all. It got late. I'm just going to reach the temple by another 10 minutes time or 5 minutes time. I'll reach the temple. Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha,
Vishnu
Bhai Namo Namaha. Thank you
Hare
to the
Krishna.
true.
Jai
Thank you, Prabhu.